All right, everybody. So today we're going to finish this review, just kind of get you ready for the Unit 8 test. So we're going to look at this carefully, and if you notice, there is no parentheses here. We would fix it, of course, and when we fix it, it says y is equal to 2x minus 3, and if you notice, a little bit of a typo here for all of these. That should be a minus, 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 minus. Little typo there in that last page of your review. Now, the question is saying, which equivalent equation is correctly matched with a key feature of the graph of the function that it represents? Well, again, there is no parentheses, so nothing has been factored. That means this is considered standard form. And the only thing that standard form can ever give me is, of course, the y-intercept. It's the only thing that standard form, yes, even for linear equations, it's the only thing it can give me. So my y-intercept is -3, which means here is the only answer we should be picking. My y-intercept is not +3. Again, there was a typo there, but it should be the -3 for this one. But that's it. And again, understanding that every form gives you something special becomes very important for a problem like this. Now, let's go on to number 30. Number 30 says select an ordered pair that is a solution to this graph. All right, well, if they're giving me 4 options, then what I should do is I should plot each point. That's the only way to find out if it's a solution or not. So the first one is 3, 0. So remember, x's go to the side, then I go up and down. So 3, 0 would be right here, which clearly means this is not a solution because I'm not on the line. All right, let me try a different point. -2, 3. So 3, 0 failed. Remember, not 0, 3, that's something else. -2, 3 means I go back 2 and up 3. All right, that's also not a solution. All right, let me keep going. I got to keep trying till I find the one that works. 1, -2, so 1, -2. Again, clearly not a solution for this one either. And then finally, of course, 4, 1. So here's 4, there's 1. We finally have the one that is considered a solution to the problem. But again, all we have to do is just know how to graph points. And if we know how to graph points, basic rule, right? Basic idea there. Plot it, and we're looking for the one that actually lands on the line. All right, let's keep it going. Now, number 31 looks easy enough, right? They just said, write the inequality that represents all the solutions. Okay, so they just want me to solve. And again, if the wording throws you off, don't fall for those tricks. You look for the math, and then you do whatever you can with it. So when I look at a problem like this one, the only thing I can do is solve. The only way to solve is if I divide both sides by -8, and then here's where you have to be careful. Yes, I'm left with m. So the reason they like to give this on the SBAC is people forget one basic rule, which is if you divide by a negative, you need to reverse the inequality. Here's the other way they get you. Well, first of all, a positive divided by a negative is negative, right? And then here's the big or second mistake people make. 2 divided by 8. People are very quick to just say, oh, that's 4. But you have to remember, the 8 is at the bottom of a fraction. Technically, I'm dividing by 2 like this. So when I reduce it, 2 divided by 2, there's the 1. 8 divided by 2, there's your 4. Your 4 should be at the bottom of a fraction. SBAC loves to give questions like this. One-step equations. Why? Again, people might forget to reverse the inequality, and then people that rush the test will say 2 divided by 8 is 4. No, it's 1 over 4. Remember, you got to keep your number wherever you have the bigger amount. 8 is bigger, so the 4 should be underneath. Okay, a couple more here to try out, or 3 more to try out. So number 32. Number 32 says to factor. We do have a binomial with a minus sign, so that's a good sign. Remember, that just means that both of these parentheses look exactly the same, but one's a plus and one's a minus. So all I have to do is, remember, they have to look exactly the same. Well, think about 2 numbers that multiplied to give you 49, and they have to be the same. Well, 7 and 7, that gives me 49. And if you have 4 x's, well, remember the letters, we always split them in half. And so for that first one, we have 7x squared here. Well, now I'm going to do something very similar, but to the 100y squared. Well, for the 100, let me see, maybe I could break it up here. For the 100, it has to be the same number, so 10 and 10. We have 2 y's involved here. Well, then 1 and 1, and then there it is. Those are my 2 factors that multiply to give me this result. And again, we can only do this quick factoring when it's a binomial with a minus sign in the middle, because that guarantees the positive and the negative in my factors. Okay, now this question looks like one that we've done before. The only difference is it's asking for 11 pi over 4. And we said when you're using the unit circle, yes, we have our point, and that's classic x and y. But in the trig world, right, in the trigonometry world, this point is cosine, sine. So if you notice, they're asking for the answer for cosine, which means once I locate that point, I'm going to be looking for that first number and that first number only. We're not going to need anything else. So if that's all I'm going to look for, well, let's find the point out of all of these that I have to work with. So it does say 11 pi over 4. All right, well, I see pi over 4 here, but that's 1, invisible 1 in front. And then I do see a 3 pi over 4 here. Remember, it's got to have a 4 underneath. Don't just look for 11. Like, the mistake is people go, oh, 11 pi over 6. Yeah, that's a 4. Very different. But that's 3 pi over 4. Look, I see another one here. That's 5 pi over 4. So if you notice, every time we kind of dip right into the middle of the quadrant, that's where the pi over 4 show up. But look at this. This is already 7, meaning that when I'm creating my angle starting from 0, I'm doing this. And if that's 7 pi over 4, well, a full circle would be 8 pi over 4, because then that's 2 pi, which means you got to keep going. So if this is 8 pi over 4, well, then that's 9 pi over 4 now, right? Look at that skip counting, which makes this 10 pi over 4, and finally we get to it. This one that says 3 pi over 4 is also 11 pi over 4. You had to keep counting until you get to it, which means this is my point. And we said cosine only uses the x. Then there's my answer. I don't even have to do anything to it. My answer to this problem is negative radical 2 over 2. And there's my solution. All right, everybody. Very last problem here, and then we'll start talking about the test here shortly. So for number 34, they said find the domain and range. Well, they already drew it for me, so that was kind of nice of them. Now, domain has to do with x's. My range has to do with the y's. So here's what I like to do. I like to redraw the picture, right, on my paper, and then I like to do this. Domain, left to right. Does this graph go to the left forever? No, there's a dot. Does it go to the right forever? Yeah, it goes to the right side forever and ever. But because we said no to the left, this is not going to be all real numbers. So I'm going to say x, because we said no to the left. If it goes to the right forever, well, then that means it's getting bigger or greater. We also say equal to, because there's a dot there. So my graph starts here and goes forever to the right. There's my domain. That's why I'm pointing it in that direction, because my x's are getting bigger. So now the question is, well, where did it start? Well, there you go. This graph starts at the number 1, and there's my domain. Now, when it comes to range, well, we're talking about our y values now. So when I ask you about the y's, well, the y goes up and down. So first question is, does it go down forever? Absolutely. It's slanting down, so it does go down forever. Does it go up forever? The answer is no. And if we say no, then the first thing I do is I write my y. We did say it goes down forever. Well, if you're heading down, your y's are going to get smaller and smaller. So y is less than or equal to, and so look, here's my range. This is what we're thinking. It's heading down forever. There's my range. The question is, well, where did it stop up here, right? Because it didn't go up forever. Well, it stops at the number 2, and that's what we bring in right here. And so just like that, we have our answer for domain, we have our answer for range. And again, this little visual always helps with figuring out your numbers, where to start, especially here, the 2 heading down, so less than or equal to 0. All right, now, remember, you should be dropping off 8.9 if you have to restaple it. Restaple homework 8.9. You should have been able to do it with the key that was posted online. I just kind of wanted to refresh your memory on some of the concepts. So you are going to be taking 2 parts of the test. So here's what I need you to do before we end the video here. You were supposed to pick up 3 of these papers. So when you pick up 3 of these papers, first of all, put your name on it, right? So put your name up there. Give it the period at least, in case it gets lost in the mix somewhere. Now remember, this is what you're going to turn into me. Normally I give you some papers to do your work on. Well, no, this time we're just going to go classic SBAC. So you do not get to use your Word wall. You will be using the Elluminate Secure browser. And this just becomes your scratch paper. But to kind of space it out a little bit, let me put it to you that way. Here's what I need you to do. So put your name, put your period, and then eventually you're going to staple all the papers together. So here's what we need you to do. You're going to fold it in half, the long way. So we'll fold it in half like this. Okay? And now that we fold it in half, we're now going to fold it twice so that you have 3 folds in there. So notice, all I did, I just kind of put it like this, as best as you can. It's not going to be perfect. So once you have it, well, we're going to crease it here. Fold it up there. Crease it again. And the reason we make it look like this, okay, is so that when you open it up, where's the name again? Here it is. Now at least it's kind of broken up into a couple sections. So you can do number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, all right, number 5, number 6, and then so you basically have 12 spaces to show work if you need it. There will be some problems where, of course, there's not much work you can show, but the more you can, please do. Remember, you do have 2 parts. So the first part that you're going to take is the no calculator. So maybe please write that into the no calculator part. And then when you start the calculator part, just say, okay, this one starts with calculator, because you're going to renumber it again. So anyways, you do need 3 papers. Fold them. It just kind of gives you some separation, right? Gives you an idea, okay, let me do the problems here and there. But that's it, everybody. Remember, no word wall. All you get to have on your desk is this. No calculators of any kind, unless it's available on the test itself, so no other calculator. And finally, just take your time, but remember, you have 2 parts. As soon as you submit the no calculator part, you're going to submit and then open it up again and sign up for the calculator portion of the test. If you were to need more graph paper, feel free to just get up and grab more. Okay? With that said, good luck, everybody. And you'll be able to see your test scores very quickly. And since I don't get to see you, enjoy your 4-day weekend. Hopefully it'll be nice and restful so that you're ready for my juniors next week. Remember, we're taking the SBAC, the official SBAC. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and good luck.